The morning started quiet, too quiet. The kind of quiet that feels fake, like the air itself is holding its breath. Then the ground shook. Not thunder. Engines. I stepped onto my porch with my coffee and watched 10 full-size charter buses crawl up my private gravel road like a migrating plague. Diesel smoke smeared the sky, doors hissed open in perfect sequence, and out they came. Hundreds of people pouring onto my land with coolers, grills, lawn chairs, speakers, even inflatable pools. At the front of it all stood Karen, hot pink blazer, clipboard, megaphone, smiling like she just conquered a small country. Behind her, a massive banner unfurled between two oak trees. HOA Mega Summer Festival, Community Land. Community Land. My land. She raised the megaphone and screamed, "Welcome, everyone. Today we take back what selfish people have been hoarding." People cheered. They were clapping for their own trespass. Karen pointed straight at my house like a villain introducing the final boss. This property has been absorbed into the HOA greenbelt. It's public now. That's when I understood. She didn't come to argue anymore. She came to humiliate me in public. 10 buses, 500 witnesses, phones already recording. She wasn't trying to win legally. She was trying to bully reality itself. What Karen didn't know was that my steel gate wasn't decoration. It was motorized, reinforced, and connected to my phone. She had just delivered herself, her ego, and 500 unpaid extras straight into the opening scene of her own downfall. I looked at the screen, 8:59 a.m., 1 minute until I closed the trap, 9 a.m. I tapped my phone. The sound wasn't loud, just a deep metallic thunk that rippled through the gravel like a warning shot. The steel gate behind the last bus began to slide shut. Slow, heavy, final. People didn't notice at first. Kids were still running, grills were still lighting. Karen was still preaching into her megaphone about community victory. Then the gate slammed. The red keypad light blinked. Locked, a bus driver walked up to it, frowned, and rattled the bars. This gate's closed." That's when the energy shifted. Parents turned. People stopped clapping. Someone laughed nervously and said, "Wait, are we stuck?" Karen froze mid-sentence. She spun around, heels sinking into the gravel. "Who closed the gate?" I lifted my coffee and said calmly, loud enough for everyone to hear, "You're all on private property. That's trespassing." And nobody leaves until the sheriff arrives. Silence. Then chaos. A teenager yelled, "Bro, this is a setup," and started live streaming. A woman grabbed her kid and whispered, "Karen said this was public." Karen charged at me, face red, megaphone shaking. "Open it now. You can't hold people hostage." I smiled. "I didn't bring 10 buses onto land I don't own. You did." A bus driver muttered, "She told us it was approved." That sentence spread faster than fire. Approved. The word hit the crowd like poison. People turned to Karen, not me. "Karen, you said this was legal." "Karen, I paid for this." "Karen, my kids are overheating." Her megaphone squealed in feedback as she screamed, "Don't listen to him. This is our land." That's when I raised my phone and showed the live security feed. 10 buses, 500 faces, her pink blazer in perfect HD. "Smile, Karen, you brought witnesses." And in the distance, sirens began to wail. Quick pause. If this story has you hooked, like, share, and subscribe. Comment where you're watching from. The sirens got louder. Not dramatic movie sirens, real ones. The kind that makes liars start sweating and truth start breathing. 2 sheriff cruisers rolled up to the gate, lights slicing through the crowd. Conversations died mid-sentence. Phones tilted toward the road. Even the buses went quiet, engines idling like they knew something bad was about to happen. Sheriff Patterson stepped out, big man, calm walk, sunglasses that reflected Karen's entire disaster back at her. Karen sprinted to him before anyone else could speak. "Officer, he's holding us hostage. He locked us in illegally." The sheriff looked past her at the 10 buses, the families, the grills, the banner. Then he asked one question, one sentence, the kind that ends careers. "Ma'am, why are 500 people on his land?" Karen blinked. Actually blinked. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. This is community land. The HOA, show me the deed." She flipped her clipboard like it was a magic book. Pages, notes, stickers. No deed, no paperwork, no reality. I walked up and handed the sheriff my folder. Title, survey, tax records, zoning confirmation. He barely needed 10 seconds. "This is private property," he said flatly. Then he turned back to Karen. "You brought people here without permission. That's trespassing. If you charged money, that's fraud." The crowd erupted. "You lied to us." She used HOA funds. My kids are dehydrated because of you. Karen started backing up. Her pink blazer was soaked with sweat, mascara smudged, clipboard shaking like it weighed 100 pounds. The sheriff's deputy whispered something in his ear. He nodded. We're clearing this one bus at a time. Karen screamed, This is a misunderstanding. But nobody was listening anymore. They were filming her downfall in 4K. And for the first time, Karen wasn't the loudest person in the room. She was the smallest. One by one, the deputies started herding people back to the buses. Not gently, not politely, like a failed field trip. Parents dragged kids by the arms. Teenagers booed Karen openly. Someone yelled, Refund us, you fraud. Another shouted, Bus Karen for prison. The news vans had arrived, real cameras now, not just phones. Karen tried to speak to a reporter, but the moment she opened her mouth, 3 different people started shouting over her. She lied. She stole HOA money. She said this was public land. The reporter turned the mic toward Karen. Did you tell these families this land was approved? Karen stuttered. I was misinformed. That's when Tom, the zoning clerk, stepped forward. I warned her, he said calmly. This land was never part of the HOA. She ignored me. That was it. That single sentence detonated her entire image. Karen's face collapsed in real time. Not anger, not rage, pure panic. The sheriff pointed toward the last bus. Ma'am, you're leaving with everyone else. She turned to me, eyes shaking. You did this to me. You humiliated me. I looked at her and said, loud enough for the cameras. No, Karen, you humiliated yourself. I just locked the gate. The crowd went silent. Then someone clapped. Then another. Then the entire pasture erupted in applause. Karen boarded the last bus alone. No supporters, no followers, just her reflection in the tinted window and 500 people watching her get escorted out of her own lie. The gate closed behind them. Thunk. And just like that, the most powerful woman in the HOA left my land with nothing but memes and a criminal investigation. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and subscribe. Comment where you're watching from. And tell me, have you ever dealt with a real-life Karen?